Jose Marti once said, "Liberty is the right of every man to be honest." Today, I'm being honest with you. We can never erase the history between us, but we believe that you should be empowered to live with dignity and self-determination. Cubans have a saying about daily life: no es fácil. It's not easy. Today, the United States wants to be a partner in making the lives of ordinary Cubans a little bit easier.
Let's get back to work and welcome former U.S. Congressman, former presidential candidate, and the man who fears no question. Dr. Ron Paul joins us on MidPoint. Dr. Paul, I'm going to get to Cuba here in just a moment, but I want to pick up lastly on what you said at the end of the last segment, where you talked about we continue to make the same mistakes. I asked that same question so many times. It seems that the voters in this country continue to make the same mistakes by putting the same people into office, by putting the same ideology into office. How then do we break this chain, or is it simply just impossible to teach the American voter how to do that?
Well, the American voter are responding to an educational system that's been around for a long time. If you think just in economic terms, 99% of the people in this country are taught Keynesian economics. They're not taught Austrian free market, hard money economics. So everybody in Washington that is elected, and most of the voters all endorse this. So they believe in the welfare, warfare state. So they're really responding in a logical manner. This is why I think there's no solution in Washington. Although I've been in politics all those years, I don't think that politicians have much control of this. All they are they get pushed around by powerful interests and a philosophy that is deeply flawed. So I go to the young people, trying to get them interested in what true liberty is all about, why we were on the right track in this country with our Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, and why the last 100 years has been very bad, and that they better prepare for another time and another type of system where governments are designed to protect liberty and not to manage our personal affairs and not to manage and regulate the economy and not to police the world. And that is where we're making the progress. So I think when you look narrowly at election, you know, one day after this fantastic victory for Republicans, they say, oh, it looks like they've all given up. They've all caved in. They've sold out to the president, and the politics is the same as they've always been, in which they are, because both sides agree on the big issues. Neither side really wants to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Neither side really wants to get rid of the IRS. Neither side wants to even tinker with the welfare system, and even the Republicans aren't that darned eager to do much to rein in Obamacare. They're endorsing a philosophy that's been with us way too long, and you have to change the philosophy of the people.
Okay, but let me do that then. Let me do that. A couple minutes that I have left, if I can interrupt you here. The philosophy of the people then. How tough can it be then for the American voter to figure out who's lying and who's not?
Well, they have to assume all government officials lie. You know, you can't trust the government. And that the government punishes the whistleblowers and let the lawbreakers go free. So, no, you can't trust the government. You have to trust the fact that you can teach people a different set of values. But I think there's way too much trust placed in the government.
They don't seem to be learning, though.
The government's going to take care of us.
They don't seem to be learning, though. People don't seem to be learning because they go into the voters' booth, they make the same mistakes over and over again, elect the same people dozens of times. So when are we going to teach them? What's it going to take to get through the thick skull of the American voter?
It's going to probably take a generation, you know, to shift away from the true beliefs that we had, per se, in the early part of our history. It took a long, long time. You know, it took Roosevelt and all the others to endorse the system that we have. So, and we're not going to wean ourselves off. We're going to see the collapse, just as the Soviet system collapsed, because it was a non-viable system. It was not capable of existing, and ours is not either, because we're debt-ridden, and all we can do is spend, borrow, print money, and pyramid debt. And that is why this country is getting poorer constantly, and that is why it is an intellectual problem, and we have to teach a lot of people that this is a non-viable system, and you're not going to see the next president do much differently because it's beyond their control.
We could talk for a long time on this, but I'm short on time. I only have 30 seconds left. I haven't even gotten to this. What is your take on the president's new policies with regard to Cuba?
Well, of course, you know, I believe in individual liberty. I believe people have a right to travel, and if you had a friend in Cuba, I think you have every right to go see them when you want to. We're not at war with them. I think if you want to send them a box of chocolate candy, you can. If they want to send you a Cuban cigar, you ought to be able to have it.
So you think he
I
got
try
it
to answer
right?
these questions with personal liberty, and believe me, that means that we should have open trade with them and a diplomatic relationship. I think it's very good. We did it with China, and just think of how much better things are with China. They didn't go more communistic. Communism is just more or less faded there, and they're our banker now. So I would say trading with countries is very good, and having relations with countries are very good. It's certainly what the founders advised us to do.
This one's going to go on for a long, long time. Dr. Paul, we are all out of time. We could do this for hours again. I thank you so much for your time. To you and your family, a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Take care. Break, and we're back to focus on the country that is now finding out what it's really like to be in bed with a band of child killers.